Good afternoon. This tutorial is going to be for the Canvas training course under the Sprouting section, and it will be for assignment 3.9, creating a quiz. So if we go into our Canvas course and we go down to Sprouting and we look at the requirements for 3.9, we're going to see that there's going to be a couple of things that we're going to need to do. So if you notice right here, it says that we're going to have to create a quiz, adjust the settings, and we're going to have 5 different question types: multiple choice, matching, fill in the blank, true, false, numeric. We can use the preview feature to see what it's going to look like, but we are not going to have to take a screenshot of that. We're going to adjust the settings and we're going to save. The evidence that we're going to have to submit for this one will be the URL, so we will copy the URL and we will submit that. This is going to be one of those assignments where we might need to do something outside of Canvas before we get started. So one of the things you might want to do is find an old quiz that you have. I found a social studies quiz that I have. If you look at it, you can see that the original quiz had all multiple choice. So I just went ahead and opened another Word document and I created the question types that I knew I'd have to submit. I went ahead and made a multiple choice, a matching, a fill in a blank, a true, false, and a numeric. Now, if you're really good about thinking right on the spot, you can skip this step and just open the quiz and type the question as it is. But if you need a little bit more support or you want to feel a little bit more comfortable, I just encourage you to go ahead and type the quiz up on a Word document. And that way, really all you're going to do once you open Canvas is you're just going to copy and paste. So I'm going to go back into Canvas, and this time I'm going to go to my sandbox, and I'm going to click on Create a Quiz. And I'm going to click the plus button up here that says Add a Quiz. If I can move this out of the way. Add a quiz. And for this, I'm going to collect classic quiz. The new quiz type allows you to do hotspots and some other real cool features. Because we're not going to use the hotspot for any of our questions today, we're just going to do a classic quiz. So you're going to click classic quiz. So now you see the details of the quiz. Remember, that was one of our requirements, is that we adjust the settings. This is where you will create the questions, and Mastery Path allows you to have a different assignment depending on how the students do on this assignment. We will not be doing Mastery Paths today. We are going to focus on the details and the questions. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to name it Social Studies Assignment Quiz. One of the things that they are looking for is the directions for your students. So in this box, think of this box as giving your students direction for the question. So you can type whatever directions you want for your students. Okay, we want it to be a graded quiz. I put it under Canvas training. Yours might be just under assignments. It just depends. Do you want the answers to be shuffled? Do you want there to be a time limit? Do you want your students to have multiple attempts? If you want to adjust any of that, you can. Do you want to let the students see their quiz responses, correct and incorrect? And do you want to show one question at a time? I am going to select show one question at a time. I'm not going to require an access code, and I'm not going to filter the IP address. It can be assigned to everyone. And now I'm going to hit save. I'm not going to hit save and publish because I'm not ready for anybody to see it. Now I'm going to go in and edit, and I'm going to click on questions because I'm ready to add some questions. So we're going to click on new question. And I'm going to tell you something really important here. This update question button is your best friend. If you do not click this update question when you are finished typing it, it won't have your question in. No matter, even if you click save, the question will not be saved. And so what will happen is you'll hit save and publish, you'll go in and you'll say, oh my gosh, where are all my questions? Well, they're not there because you didn't hit update question. It took me a long time to get used to knowing that every time I type a question, I have to hit update question. So I'm going to try to save you a headache and just remind you, whatever you do, when you are finished typing your question, please hit that update question. All right, so we are going to start with, I believe it was a multiple choice. You can name this question number 1. Let me go to, yes, it was a multiple choice. So I'm just going to go back to my Word document. I'm going to do a Control C, go into my Canvas, do a Control V, and I'm going to do the exact same thing for the answers. Now that I have everything typed in, I have to select the correct answer. So you see now that I click this arrow, it knows that this is the correct answer. So let's see, I've got my question, I've got my multiple choice, so I'm going to update this question. Right now, all you can see is the question, but if you want to see the answers, this box right up here, it says show question details. You can click that and you can see the details. So, wow, we've already done our multiple choice. So now let's do a really easy true false. So this is going to be 2. So right here where it says multiple choice, we're going to change that. We want it to be a true false question. So we're going to go back to our test and we're just going to copy and paste. And we're going to select true. And we are going to hit update question. All right, 2 down. We've only got 3 more to do. So we're going to add a new question. We're going to do question number 3. And this time we're going to do matching. And I'm going to go back, and for this one I'm going to have to type the directions. Okay, so whatever, students will see what's on the left. on the right, they're going to actually have a drop down and they're going to have to select the correct answer. So I've got some key figures up here that I want to put in there. I want to put Rosa Parks. And you can see why having this quiz already done makes it a little bit easier for me. Now, I did have more than 2 figures, so I'm going to show you how to add another question matching section on this. So, and I'm just doing a Control C and a Control V. All right. So, right here, I have 2 characters, and I need another answer. So I'm going to say add another answer. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to get John F. Kennedy. I'm going to put his description. And again, Control C, Control V. And then I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to update this question. And so that's not what it's going to look like for the students. We're going to do that preview in just a minute so that we can see that. So let's see. We've got a multiple choice. We got a true false. We've got a matching. And so now we're going to do a fill in the blank. I believe this is question 4. Do fill in the blank. And let's go down here and get this one about Cesar Chavez. Okay, I do not need all of these possible answers. So I'm going to hit the trash can that is on the right because there is only one correct answer for this. I'm going to copy it, go back into it, paste it, and I'm going to update that question. Now again, what your students will see, I am going to edit this. This looks a little wonky. Put this up there. What your student, remember to always hit update question. Your students will not see this answer. Remember, we selected up here to show answer the question details. So that's why we are seeing Cesar Chavez in this box. Your students will not see that. And again, as soon as we finish this last question, we're going to go in and preview, and I'm going to show you what it'll look like for students. So we've got to add one more. This one's going to be a numeric. And we're going to drop this down, and we're going to say numerical answer. Let's go back in here. What year was the civil rights? I'm going to copy, Control C, Control V. All right, and then 64. Okay, so you've got some options when you do a numeric. It can be the exact answer, it could be within a range, or it could be an answer with precision. Since this is not a math problem and we're just looking for a number, we are going to do exact answer. And we're going to update the question. And it says 0 margins. That means they can't be off by 1 or 2 points. So now I'm going to add one more question. You don't have to do this, but I wanted to show you that if you wanted to put a numeric that was between a certain range, so we're going to select numeric. I'm going to get rid of these extras. Remember, I can click the trash can on the corner. And this time, instead of an exact answer, it's going to be a range between 2 numbers. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to take my question. I'm going to do a Control-C, go to my test, and do a Control-V. And I'm going to get my first number and put it here. I think for this one it will not let you paste, so we're just going to type it in. And then remember, the most important part that I told you was to update your question. Okay, so now I have my quiz created, and I have multiple question types, and I've adjusted the settings. Now, because I know when I send the URL, I want them to be able to access my quiz, I'm going to hit Save and Publish. Don't hit Save and Publish until you're completely finished with your quiz. Just remember a couple of things. Anytime you type a question, hit Update Question. If for any reason you need to leave this and come back and finish it later, hit the Save. Otherwise, you're going to lose all of your hard work. At the very, very end, you're going to hit Save and Publish. Now we can hit Preview, and we can see what that's going to look like for our students. Remember, for this one, we do not have to take a screenshot. So that's the multiple choice. This is the true-false. This was our matching. Remember, I told you that whatever was typed on the left stays still, and the options on the right is what they get to select from. Next one was a fill in the blank. Remember, this was Cesar Chavez. Okay, this one is what year. Okay, so this is a numeric. And then I have the one that was a range. They could get between any number. So now that I've previewed it, I am going to keep editing. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to save. Make sure that it's published. And now I'm going to come up here and I am going to copy that URL. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my dashboard. Go back to my training course. Go to sprouting. Come down to 3.9. And I'm going to submit my assignment, and I'm just going to copy and paste that URL. And then I am finished with my quiz. And that's all there is to creating a quiz. I'm looking forward to doing some more of these. I'm glad that you guys have found them helpful. If you have any questions, don't forget to reach out to me. All right. Have a great day.